This video will walk you through how to prepare and deposit your final research degree thesis in Spiral, Imperial College London's open access repository. We will cover what Spiral is, how to get your thesis ready, what formats and licenses you need, how to request an embargo, and finally how the deposit and checking process works. Spiral is where Imperial stores and shares theses and other research outputs. It is a requirement for students to submit their final thesis to Spiral. Once deposited, your thesis can be discovered and read worldwide, subject to any embargo that you request. Your thesis must be submitted as a PDF-A with all fonts embedded so that it displays reliably over time. Do not include your handwritten signature or any handwritten signature because the thesis will be made publicly available. You select a Creative Commons license to define how others may reuse your thesis. The license on your thesis's copyright page must match what you choose at submission. If you have forgotten to request an embargo, you should contact the Assessment Records team, as theses are made open access in Spiral in the following month after the date of award. The email for the Assessment Records team is at the end of this video. After the examination is complete and any required revisions have been approved, you should make sure that the final copy of your thesis is submitted to the registry via Spiral, the university's open access repository. As soon as it's possible to deposit your thesis, you need to log into Imperial's Spiral service. On your submissions page, click Add New, which is the plus button on the right-hand side. Following this, click on Thesis Submission Collection, and this will take you to a new page. On this new page, select Browse to upload your thesis. Select your thesis and then click Open. Here, your thesis should begin uploading. As a note, the format of the name of your thesis PDF should be your surname, hyphen, your first initial, hyphen, the year in which the PhD thesis had been awarded, hyphen, PhD, hyphen, thesis. Next, we will fill out the item information about your PhD thesis. So, the PhD thesis title, next, your last name, and your first name, then your PhD thesis abstract, remembering that this should be no more than 300 words. Then your supervisor's last name and your supervisor's first name, then your department, which in this case, as an example, could be the Department of Aeronautics. Then you should fill out your sponsor or funding body, then your grant number or funding code, and finally the Creative Commons license, which could be a CC BY, a CC BY NC, a CC BY ND, a CC BY NC ND, a CC BY SA, or a CC BY NC SA. In this case, we'll go for a CC BY. You can confirm the license above, and then click Finally on Deposit, and you will receive an email notification once your thesis has been approved by the registry team. Afterwards, your thesis, if it doesn't have an embargo, will be made available on Spiral. If you know that you need to change any minor mistakes in your thesis, like your name, for example, or an embargo extension, please contact the Assessment Records team at assessment.records@imperial.ac.uk. If you have any queries around copyright, please contact copyright@imperial.ac.uk. For queries about other practical issues, such as your thesis being available in Spiral, for example, please contact the Open Access team at openaccess@imperial.ac.uk. For other, more general queries, please contact the Early Careers Research Institute at ecri@imperial.ac.uk.